Hey everybody, it's Amanda here, author of The Insightful Parent with Rebecca Argentine, a strategic life coach, and we're just walking through the book and talking about some benefits of life coaching, and just really hope to help you, at the end of each of these videos, I guess finish watching the video better than how you began it. So I guess with that, chapter 9's title is Healing, so let the healing begin.
Let the healing begin. Healing, that's one of the reasons why you're going to pick up the book or hire a life coach. And you mentioned in the book short-term coping. And everything is, like we kind of said before, is little baby steps. And, getting things, short-term, it's not going to happen fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it is coping skills. And it is going to just kind of take some time. And with healing, a lot of times with some people, that I've dealt with, is allowing yourself to heal and not always being the victim.
Yeah.
Being the victim, you give your power to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start healing and using all the other things that we've kind of brought up, the hope, the love, and everything else, you learn not to be the victim. If that's one of the issues maybe that you're dealing with, and maybe not. But with healing, there's just a lot of stuff. And the other thing with healing is too, when you're trying to heal yourself, you're going to realize there's going to be the people out there that are either going to understand your changes and accept that, or they're not. And then healing is understanding that it's okay if some of the people aren't still in your life. And then enduring and getting through the struggles. Healing, like we said before, it is a process.
Mm-hmm.
We've taken, if you're 40-some years old or 30-some years old or older, you've been doing this for a long time. So the healing process is a process, and it's three. It's your mental, emotional, physical.
Mm-hmm.
The mental part, how you can beat yourself mentally in the stuff that we think and the stuff that we do to ourselves. Emotional, we talked about that before with feelings and how that can drain us, and physical, our emotions and our mental affects us physically. So when we're healing, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. So I just, kind of recommend being patient, understanding that we've talked about this before, that there is this process and there's just going to be so much going on, but it's kind of a cool thing. It's an exploration, kind of. It's learning that there's new ways of doing things, or that, learning that you can just be a better, like we even said before, a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
But, taking on a new role of who you want to present out there.
Yep.
And learning to deal with the scars or the marks or whatever, thing that we've been through, accepting those as our badges of honor,
Yeah.
And walk out and going, okay, I've been knocked down a few times, I've got a few bumps and bruises, but, I've gone through this process, and I'm proud of myself for doing that.
Yeah. That's neat. Yeah. I think it was important when I was writing this chapter to differentiate between short-term coping and long-term healing.
Right.
Because quite often, I know when I was, seeing one-on-one individuals in the past, and as a life coach, I would imagine one of the first things that you would do, and kind of that's what the short-term coping is
exactly.
If you have a boss that stresses you out and reminds you of your dad who wasn't a nice guy,
right,
then what is that Band-Aid that you know? Do you need to go take 5 minutes and take deep breaths? Do you need to go on a walk? Do you need to listen to music? What immediate steps can you take to just, again, take control of those feelings, like we talked in the other chapter, And while those coping skills are kind of the boosters to carry you through, then long-term healing can take place because you're not being overwhelmed.
Exactly.
So it's that coping to then make space for the healing that has to happen.
Yes. And, and with the physical, I kind of in the beginning said, people, and you talked about before, hiring a personal trainer, for your physical stuff. When you start healing yourself emotionally, mentally, and you're feeling good, you can deal with the physical stuff.
Absolutely.
A lot of the physical stuff might even just go away.
Yeah.
Because you manifested it. And, it's that, like you said, when you hire a life coach and stuff, you are going to learn quick, easy steps kind of in the beginning, and then realize that it is a process. There is a longer term that, it is going to be, it's going to be something that's going to continue with you.
Yeah.
Can you take it with you?
Yeah. The idea, you mentioned it with healing, is the scars. And
Yes.
it really is shifting from owning our circumstances. Instead of the circumstances happen to me,
Exactly.
it's because of this, I am now this.
Right.
And the neat thing too, even, in working, and so many of us, we all have scars of something,
Right.
But the cool thing is our scars also don't have to identify us.
Exactly. You did mention that in the book in one of the chapters. I can't remember, but you did say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can choose. I was talking to my husband the other day about that, and if I have a scar that can help. Okay, so survivors of cancer, they have instant rapport when they disclose that with each other.
Right.
Survivors of sexual abuse, they have instant rapport. And so if those are scars that we're willing to, show, but on the other hand, people also, because we're in a fallen world, like, people will identify me by my scars. So I choose to expose what scars I want when I want to expose them.
When you want to expose them. Exactly.
And so it's working through
and
that
they don't
healing
define
process.
You.
They don't.
They don't define
And so
you.
I own it, and
Yes.
it's here's.
Right.
So it's just neat, but I think that's the sort of thing that you navigate people, through.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
And then, so step by step, hopefully we're helping you along the process.
Been helping you heal.
So, all right, awesome. So chapter 9, that's healing. And thanks for joining, and we'll catch you again soon.